Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and today I'll be showing you how to solo Baseball Highlights 2045. Baseball Highlights 2045 is a baseball game that's set in a future where baseball was a dying sport. People thought it was boring, they weren't going anymore, and then suddenly they had a brilliant idea. They introduced cyborgs and robots into the game. So you have three different types of players in Baseball Highlights 2045. You can have cyborgs, which are basically modified humans. For example, you might have a pitcher with a bionic arm. You can have robots, who are just full-on robots who play baseball. And you can have naturals, who are very talented players who manage to compete in a brutal field. In the Solitaire version of Baseball Highlights, you will play the visiting team, and you're going up against a home team that's basically made up of an AI deck, and I'm going to show you how to construct that. For my team, all I'm going to need to do is choose one of the starting decks from the box. There are 4 of them. I'm going to go with New York because my team is the New York Yankees. The AI team, on the other hand, is not going to be made with starter cards at all. It's going to be comprised of these more advanced free agent cards, some of which I will be able to purchase throughout the game. But the AI is going to start with a full deck of much more powerful cards than I have. To create the AI deck, all you do is draw 15 of these, and that's what they have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And their deck doesn't change at all throughout the game. So my deck will get more powerful. Theirs starts out powerful, but it remains static. How, you might ask, am I ever going to compete against this powerful team with my deck of rookie cards? Well, the answer is to have some buy rounds. There are actually 2 ways to do these buy rounds. The fast way is what I'm going to show you a demo of really quickly. The slow way is actually to play a couple of preseason games and then buy cards after each minigame the way you normally would in Baseball Highlights, something I'm also going to demonstrate. I personally like to play the preseason games because it lets me see their deck and figure out what I want to add in and take out of my own deck, which basically to me simulates teams checking each other out as they get ready for the big season. To execute a buy round, you first create a market of 6 cards from the free agent deck. So, for example, here are the 6 that I've laid out. You'll notice that there are 2 numbers in the top right of each of these cards. This is the amount of fame it costs to buy the player. This is the amount of fame they contribute to your fame pool when you have a buy round. Normally the cards that you can use to make purchases in your buy round are the 6 cards that you play during a mini game in a World Series of Baseball Highlights 2045. So what you'll do to simulate this is you draw 6 cards from your deck and you just count up the fame. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have a total of 8 fame that I can spend to buy as many cards as I like. However, I'm in a bit of a rough spot. I could choose to buy one cheaper card and hope that another comes up that I can afford, or I could just go for something expensive and hope that it works out nicely for me. Let's say that I want to use my 8 fame to purchase Pi, who basically has the best name ever and has an awesome special ability. Leadoff. If this is your first card played, you get a double. That sounds great to me, especially since he also threatens a fast single. So that's a very exciting card. Let's buy him. So what I would do is I would actually put him on top of my draw deck for the next game, guaranteeing that I would have him again. And then I would immediately replace this in case I had enough fame to buy a second card. So if I had somehow managed to say like buy Pee-wee for 4 and then pulled another 4 card, I could have spent my 8 fame on those. The other thing I have to do, however, is that I have to look at these players that I used to purchase Pi, and I need to send one of them to the minors because my team roster can only have 15 players on it. So one of these cards has got to go. Who would I send down? It's a tough choice because, for example, this one has glove, cancel 1 hit, but it also isn't worth any fame. I would basically pick the card that I thought was like the least worthwhile of the cards. Like I might actually dump this one because it only threatens a single, and I have a lot of cards that can do that. So this one might go to the minor leagues. And these would go into my discard pile until it was time to reshuffle. When you're executing buy rounds in preparation for a larger game, you can actually do this 2 or even 3 times for the solo game of baseball highlights. It is recommended that you do at least 2, although that would be very challenging. If you want to make it a little bit easier, go ahead and have 3 buy rounds and get yourself started with 3 nice cards. My other option for building my deck before reaching the main event, which is the World Series of the game where we decide who's going to win, is I can actually have a preseason where I actually play out full rounds with my rookie deck against this free agent deck, figure out what I need, and then make more informed purchases from the buy row. So what I like to do is have at least a 2-game preseason, sometimes 3 if it's been a while since I played, and then I will actually buy cards that are suited to my specific situation. So let's just play a game of this preseason, which I'm absolutely going to get demolished in, but that is okay because it'll still show you how this game is played. So the enemy deck just remains face down for now, and I'm going to draw 6 cards. So this isn't a terrible starting hand. One thing I can do is I can actually put one of these in my dugout as either a basically end of the round visitor save card, because I will always play the visitor in the solo version of the game, or I can use a card that has this pinch hit icon to switch out and play the card that I stashed in the dugout. What I'm going to do, however, is I'm going to go ahead and put walk, change all hits to walks in the dugout so that I can pull it out if I need it. It's going to hang out right here. Well, actually, no, it's going in the on deck area. Sorry about that. Discarded cards go to the dugout. So this guy's going to be on deck. Let's stick him under so I don't accidentally knock him all over the place. And then since I'm down to 5 cards, I can actually draw 1 more off of my deck. Excellent. So now I have my own starting hand of 6 cards. And because I'm the visitor, I'm going to need to decide which one I want to play first. So when deciding which card to play first, I have a few things to take into consideration. These little text boxes are reactions that I can have to cards that the other player has put down. So for example, a fastball, cancel all hits versus a natural. I don't want to play this card right now because it has a defensive ability on it that won't work if I play it at this exact moment. Same for this one, double play, remove up to 2 base runners. So basically I can wait until there are runners on the enemy bases and then remove some of his base runners, which is a great idea. This might be a good choice because it's just a plain old single. Glove, cancel 1 hit. I definitely need to save because I need to wait until there's a hit to cancel. And I can try to threaten a double with this robot or a home run with the natural, but I'd rather load my bases up a little bit before attempting a home run. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and go for, let's go for this average single. Average runners, so there are 3 types of runners in this game. I don't have any fast cards right now, but you'll see one probably from the enemy deck. So there are 3 speeds of runner in Baseball Highlights 2045. There are fast runners that are marked by a red pawn. There are average runners that are marked by a blue pawn. And then there are slow runners that are marked by a white pawn. So an average runner is going to run at an average speed unless it gets stuck behind a slow pawn. And I'm going to show you how this movement works as we go. But because he's faster, this is the first card I'm going to play and attempt to threaten a single hit. So let's go ahead and put this in play. So what that means is that I'm threatening 1 average speed single. Let's see what the AI deck is going to answer to me. So we'll just draw the top card of their deck and put it in play. It is a robot. He doesn't do anything to me. So he doesn't do anything to counter my single. So we're going to go ahead and move this pawn. The bad news, however, is that he threatens 2 slow home runs. So he has threatened 2 home runs, and I'm going to need to figure out what to do to try to counter that, or else he's going to score. So sadly, in looking through these cards, there's not a whole lot I can do unless I want to play pinch hit and turn everything into a walk, but that's not what I'm going to do yet. Instead, I'm going to play this rookie. So he has an ability called Glove. Cancel 1 hit that will go into effect the moment I choose to play him. So let's play this card. It's going to cancel 1 hit, but he's still going to have a home run go through, which will immediately resolve, and he gets 1 point. So now, here's where I'm at. I'm going to threaten 1 single from an average runner. So I put another pawn right here on the board. And then it's his turn to answer. So as you can see, when you play a card, you do the text, you figure out what that means for the other player's runs, they resolve any runs they've threatened, and then we look at what you're threatening that they have a chance to answer. So you just kind of go back and forth as in a logical sequence to figure out who's going to actually score, who's going to cancel somebody's actions out. So right now I'm threatening this one single, and they're going to draw a card, and we're going to see if they can do anything about it. So let's draw another card. Lead off is if this is your first card played, single. Fortunately, this wasn't their first card played. It's the second one. The other good news is that it doesn't seem to threaten any hits at all. So we are cool for right now. So this is going to be another single, and this will be a single. So these are average runners. What is the difference, you might ask, between an average runner and a slow runner? The difference between an average runner and a slow runner is that a slow runner will always go exactly the amount of bases hit. The average runner, however, once they hit second base, they are in scoring position. So if I get a single, they're going to go ahead and run home. So I'm almost there when it comes to scoring a run for myself. So my card has gone through. Their card has gone through, and now it's my turn to play another card. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and threaten a slow double from a robot player. So I'm going to put this card down, and it's going to threaten one slow double. So I'll put one white pawn right here. So now it's his turn to answer me before this run actually goes through. Draw a card. Knuckleball. Reduce all hits by one base. So what that means is that all of my hits will be reduced by one base. This was a double, so that means it's going to turn into a single. So if this turns into a single, this one will go here, this one will go here, and because this guy was in scoring position, he's going to go ahead and run home. So that puts my score at 1. So I have 1 run, they have 1 run. We also have to look at what this dude is now threatening. He is threatening an average triple. So now we'll put an average speed pawn here, and he's threatening a triple, and I need to figure out what, if anything, I can do about it. So I want to keep some of my defensive capabilities. I can't cancel any hits against him because this says cancel all hits versus a natural. This is a cyborg. I also don't really have any use for my double play right now because it says remove up to 2 base runners. He's not on base, he's threatening a run. So I'm going to go ahead and see what happens if I try for this home run, because that could score me 3 and that'd be pretty nice. So let's go ahead and just put down this home run card. So before I do anything over here, you'll see that there's no text in the box to impact him. So his triple will go through. So he is in danger of scoring again right now. I am threatening a home run from an average speed runner. And now he's going to get a chance to see if there's anything he can do about it. Stolen base, advance all average and fast runners 1 base. So he just stole home and scored as his immediate action. However, he didn't do anything to me, which means that my home run went through. And all these guys just went home, increasing my score by 3. So now I'm at 4. Sadly, my victory might be short-lived because he is threatening 2 fast singles. So I can show you how fast runner works. Well, unless I can get rid of this, which I don't think I can. So I have a chance to answer him, but all I have is double play, remove up to 2 base runners, or cancel all hits versus a natural. So what I'm going to need to do, I think, is I'm going to need to go ahead and play this and wait and try to take these guys off on the double play. Because once they hit base, I can go after them. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play fastball, cancel all hits versus a natural. It's going to give me, if I can get it through, an average single. But the thing is that this does not at all help against him. So he's going to get a single. So the way that fast runners work is that once they hit a base, they always move 1 base more than the number you would expect. So he ran a single and got on base. then he's going to run a single and get on base, and he's going to go 2 instead of 1 because he's fast. So he's going to get an extra base. This was a single, so he's going to get to do a double once he's on base and running. This is the run that I'm threatening right now. I'm threatening an average speed single, and he's going to get a chance to do something about it. So let's see what he'll draw. Glove, cancel 1 hit. Well, that stinks. So he's going to cancel my hit, and then he's going to threaten a slow single and a slow double, which absolutely stinks, but here's what I'm going to do about it. So my problem is that I'm an idiot. I read this as double play removed to 2 base runners, but I wasn't paying attention to the fact that it said no fast. What are those guys? Fast. Can I double play them? No. No, I can't. Me smart. So I'm gonna have to play this card anyway, and what's gonna happen is that these hits are gonna go through. So we're gonna get a single. So single, this will move 2, this one will move through, pushing the score to 3, and then we're gonna have a double. So basically 1, 2, 1, 2, this one will also go through for a score of 4. So we're tied up right now, and we're just gonna have to see what happens. So my opponent has 1 more card to play. I've played 5, I've played 6, they've played 5, so let's pull this and see what we get. Ooh, we got CC Clemens. Okay, so she has a fastball. So I would have, by the way, threatened a single average speed one here. Sorry about that. So I would have threatened a single average base runner. Sadly, she cancels all hits versus a natural. So this got canceled. Bummer, but he wasn't going to make it all the way around anyway, so we're just going to be chill about it. She's also, however, threatening an average speed triple. And there's only one thing I can do about it, which is play my on-deck card. As the visitor, I get to play the defensive power of the card that I have on deck as a last turn of the game, and as a way to kind of balance out the fact that the home player got to go second and see what I was doing. So I have this rookie that changes all hits to walks. This hit is now a walk, which leaves us tied. What that means is that we're going to have to go to a tiebreaker to decide who wins this mini game, this preseason game. So if there's a tiebreaker, all the runners stay on base, and we basically have a little face-off. So I get to draw 3 cards, and they're going to flip one after I pick, and we'll see basically whose card allows us to win this little face-off. So my choices aren't amazing. I have a single, a double, and another double single. So basically, I think what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and just play the 2 singles and just see if I can get anything out of that in case I get a hit canceled. So what's going to happen is I've chosen my card. Now let's see who they have. So we're going to draw theirs. In a 2-player game, this would be done simultaneously, but you can't spoil anything for AI. So, okay, so we got Ty Terry. That stinks. All right, so the way this works is that you resolve the text first. Home team gets their text resolved first. I don't have any text, it doesn't matter. So Ty Terry is clutch. That means he's gonna automatically get a single because there is a runner on second or third. No. So he gets a single already, which puts him up to 5. Then he threatens a home run of an average speed. I'm only threatening 2 singles. And since nobody's text cancels anything, they both resolve. So we have single, 2 singles, and then he's gonna get a home run, thus kicking my butt. No, I was doing so well, but that's okay because now I get to have a buy round with the original 6 cards that I played during this round, and we'll see how it goes. I'll get to get a card to strengthen my deck up a bit. Let's have this buy round. I'll zoom in for you. So here's what we've got. Here are the 6 cards that I use to play. The card that you put on deck does not count for your buy round, so it's not like you have an extra card. You only get to use 6 cards to buy with. So my fame is 1, 2, nothing, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 6 buying power. So I need to choose something to purchase from this group that is going to fall within this parameters. So Sandy Gibson is out, he's too expensive for me. Troy Jeter's also too expensive for me. So I can look at 2 naturals two robots. These guys are cool because they have some hit canceling power. However, maybe I want to threaten some more hits. The other thing I need to consider is that this robot has awesome powers. He's a little bit slow, but he threatens a single, a double, and a double. That's amazing. However, he is worth 0 fame. So if I put him in my deck, he is not going to help me buy another card next round. This robot, on the other hand, only threatens a single to triple, but they're fast, and he's worth 1 fame. So I think what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and purchase the speed bot with my 6 fame. And he will actually go on top of my deck for the next game, so I know that I'm going to draw him in the next game of the preseason. Then I can replenish my market and go from there. The next thing I need to do is choose one of these cards to send back to the minor leagues, and then basically not use anymore. So one thing that's tough about that is that notice the power versus the fame. So a home run is awesome. However, this purchasing power stinks. So I need to think about whether I want to go for a high fame deck so I can keep buying better cards, or if I want to keep some of my better powers in case I need them at a certain point. So I definitely want to keep cancel 1 hit for now. Let's see. What would be the best thing to ditch? Ooh, this is brutal. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, even though I love this home run, and ditch this veteran because he's not worth any fame in future rounds. So he's going to be the one who goes to the minor leagues, and he's going to be replaced by the speed bot. So now you've seen a full round of Baseball Highlights 2045 going up to the bye round. Basically, this would still be the preseason, so I wouldn't have any games won over here yet because we are not yet in the World Series. I'd play a couple more preseason games and then get down to playing for real. But you reset the score counters. These guys who we played last time will all go into the dugout. So this is basically the discard pile. The lineup is the draw deck. I'll draw 6 new cards, beginning with the speed bot that I just bought. The played cards from the AI team will also go into their dugout and will continue to pull off of their lineup for each new card in the new game. And then when you can't draw cards here, that's when you shuffle these guys back up and put them back in the lineup. Anyway, I love Baseball Highlights 2045, and I hope that you enjoyed this introduction enough to give it a shot yourself because it is one of my absolute favorite solo games, and I hope that it will become one of yours as well. Happy gaming.